Hey everyone, hope you're having a beautiful day. I wanted to talk to you about our cruise that we just returned from yesterday. And it has definitely been a very interesting week, to say the least. My kids last week had spring break, and we had scheduled this cruise several weeks ago. And when we were looking to leave, this whole coronavirus thing, obviously there'd been a lot of news on it. And I just feel like things have escalated so much in the last week. And, I really and truly feel that life is happening for me and not to me. And a week ago, again, things were a little less escalated, or I feel like media, has really completely blown things out of proportion. And we decided to go. And my intention for this cruise, we've been working our tails off on our business the last 3 months. And to be honest, our business isn't a 9 to 5. We work for ourselves. And there's a lot of weekends and evenings that we've spent as of recent, just working on our business, working on ourselves, attending conferences, continuing education opportunities, etc. And so therefore, we haven't fully been present. We haven't fully sort of had that traditional downtime on the weekends and spent time with our kids. And I really, really wanted to make the spring break about love and connection as a family unit. And I thought the cruise was the best bet. Turn off the phones for a week and just be. And so we chose this beautiful cruise from Puerto Rico. And about 6 to 8 weeks ago, I booked it. So things were approaching, and, we definitely had a few people that we told about the cruise sort of question our decision. And I said, it will be okay. And I totally trust God universe that if he's going to take me there, he's going to bring me back home safe and sound. And that you may call it naivete, I call it faith. And we went, and we had, honestly, it was a great trip. We had an amazing trip. And the beauty in all of this, and the interesting thing was, turning off my phone. I am addicted to my phone. I think we all are in this day and age. And really forcing myself to keep that phone off. I kept it on airplane mode all week was truly a gift. That meant I literally only used my phone as a camera and just enjoyed being. There were a couple of moments where I had Wi-Fi sporadically and I just, checked in or whatever. But for the most part, I was disconnected from the world. And as a result of it, this corona madness didn't affect me. It didn't affect me. We went about our week. We had the most beautiful excursions. We went snorkeling. We enjoyed that beautiful turquoise Caribbean water, and we just had an amazing week. What changed for me, interestingly enough, was about a day ago when we were supposed to go to St. Martin, and it was the second last day of our cruise. And basically, the island refused to let the cruise ship on for fear of affecting its citizens. And so we ended up having a day at sea. And honestly, at that point, we'd been leaving the cruise ship about 10:30, 11 in the morning, coming back at 4, been in the water, been on these tours, exploring rainforests and waterfalls and these beautiful sceneries, in person. And we hadn't really had downtime. And I remember just waking up on Thursday going, gosh, I really brought those 2 books and I really wanted to read those 2 books. Be really nice to have downtime. And I made an intention of, when we get off the boat, we're going to come back in 2-3 hours and have the rest of the afternoon to just chill out, lounge by the pool, just read that book that I've been wanting to read. And inevitably it became a sea day. And so it was a blessing in disguise. We ended up having an amazing day. I got tons of downtime, kids got tons of playtime. My husband got downtime. It just turned out to be sort of exactly what we needed. And isn't it amazing that the universe provides exactly what we need? And the next day when we went to U.S. Virgin Islands on Friday, we just had the most glorious, glorious day. Perfect turquoise waters, perfect blue sky, perfect fluffy white clouds, completely seen from a movie. And it was just honestly perfect. So we wake up on Friday morning And we had, at that point, if you've ever been on a cruise ship, you know that the last day is sort of the rude awakening. They're like, okay, it's been nice having you, like, get off the boat already. And the announcements start at some ridiculous hour in the morning. And so lo and behold, at 7 a.m., we had an announcement come through the intercom saying, guys, the port of Puerto Rico is not letting cruise ships disembark, and they're not allowing access for cruise ships to come on board. And I had a moment of like, oh my gosh, what the hell? Like, what's going on with this? Like, and I had one moment. And then I said, you know what? God, you've got this. I'm turning it over to you. Life is happening for me and not to me. And that was that. And honestly, we had an hour later, not even 45 minutes later, we got another announcement saying, the cruise ship authorities have negotiated with the government and everything's good. We're just set to disembark an hour later than intended. And that was that, like literally. And honestly, had I given in, and I woke, when my kids woke up an hour later, we were able to get up, ease about the day. And I just, at that point, when I had that first announcement, I said, God, you've got this. I'm turning it over to you, God, universe. And I just closed my eyes and I just imagined walking into my front door at home that day and just sort of like holding my hand up and going, yes, like just celebrating coming home with a big smile on my face. And when my kids woke up that morning, like, Mommy, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, not much. We're just getting to Puerto Rico a little bit later than intended. And I said, just close your eyes and visualize with me. And we did a quick little meditation. And I just asked them to visualize with me walking through the door of their front door of their own home. And they wanted to visualize being in their warm, cozy beds after being in the twin bunk beds, in the cabin, and just being home safe and sound that day. And that is exactly what happened. And a result of me shifting my awareness, everyone that I encountered yesterday was very matter of fact. They were like, okay, like we're getting home. It's all good. And honestly, we were so lucky, you guys. Had we gotten on the boat a day later, at that point, that was the last cruise ship in the morning that was allowed to be back in Puerto Rico. I don't know if we would have gotten off. And it doesn't really matter. I coulda, shoulda, woulda all day long. I don't need to do that. We got home, we landed late. We wanted to pick up a gallon of milk. We did that last night. My husband went to the grocery store. No madness, no craziness. We're good with groceries for a few days. The kids are home. And what an opportunity, what a gift. I get to like spend more time with my kids at home. I get to, I'll give them some structured time. I'll let them play outside a lot, and that's okay. And as far as, for me, I, kind of catch up on work, but I also want to use this time as intention to serve, intention to grow, intention to utilize the extra time and meditate, go for a long walk because I can, reconnect with myself, take the time to take some online courses and some webcasts and just online training and just, connect to myself. Like, this does not have to be a time of fear. It can be whatever you choose it to be. What choice are you going to make today? Choose love. Don't choose fear. There's no need to stock up on toilet paper for a year. When we do that, we rob others of the opportunity to get what they need. And I'm not talking about toilet paper, but just generally. Let's live from a mindset of abundance, that there's enough for me and what I need today. And I don't need to hoard on what I don't need. So I hope you found this useful. I know this has been an incredible week of learning and lessons for me. And I'm just so grateful for being home. Thanks.